guys, Rice here, bringing you Game 2 of White Ra versus Assem, the show match brought to you by GoSuCoaching.com. Once again, I forgot to actually mention that it is sponsored by Havad Khan, our poker friend and poker elite, I guess you'd call him. Gambler extraordinaire, and he's got a big love for the game of Starcraft, which is awesome, and he's bringing us a whole bunch of show matches. So we're on Game 2, but before we actually get to the match, let me just explain how things work here. This is a best of 9 setup, and whoever wins this best of 9 wins $150, so not bad to begin with, and then we're going Jeopardy style. That's right, the winner gets to come back, listen to me, Alex Trebek, do some more casting of their games as they go on to try to win another $150. So, of course, if anyone's ever watched Jeopardy, you know that the winner stays on for the next match, and oh, that means things are exciting. So we got, looks like we got Assem, the Terran player, at the right side of Scrap Station, going up against White Ra, the Protoss player, once again. And, you know, a little bit of a change on this map in the last patch. They said that they made this a little bit easier to defend. They did. They put in some destructible debris so that you had to go through this area to get to the natural expansion on both bases. So I haven't actually seen this since the patch was so recent, of course. But it looks like, you know, it'll take a little bit of a while for anything of note to go on at the expansion in terms of attack. And look at this already. Assem is starting off with a proxy racks. Very interesting, but this is going to get scouted fairly quickly by White Ra as he realizes there's no barracks in here. What's going on? He's going to see the refinery down in the depot, but he's got to know something's up. And this could be just a mind game from Assem to try to get the game going in his favor. So, all right, it looks like that barracks is almost done, and as we wait to see what starts building there, I got to tell you, there's nothing I love more than casting StarCraft on a Saturday with a beer. All right. It looks like a tech lab is actually going to be going down on the field for Assem, and he's going to be getting out probably a Reaper to do some early harassment as that tech lab finishes up. And that does indeed seem, yep, that's exactly what it is. And he's going straight for it with the rally point, and he's also going to scout the base out as he sees that White Ra doesn't really have anything except for a gateway quite yet, and he's going for the Cybernex core. So I think White Ra knows that he's about to see a Reaper incoming, and basically he's probably going to get a Stalker out real fast to deal with it. And look at this. I got to say, it looks like Assem a little bit low on economy. Kind of, I won't say an all-in build by any means, but definitely cutting some early SCVs, it would seem, or at least delaying his orbital as he gets this rush out. But that's kind of standard. Obviously, how else do you pull off a rush if you're spending your money on something else? And here comes the very first Reaper as he's going to try to do what damage he can to White Ra's base. The Cybernex core is just finishing now. He is going to get out a Zealot, and that's going to make it so Assem's got to do a lot of micro action. But the question is, what amount of damage will he be able to do with this? Oh, beautiful, going up the side over here. Very nicely done as we follow around this little bit of a Reaper with, who's only a recruit at the moment, by the way, as you can see his rank. And he's going to go try to get as many probe kills as he can here, microing around the Zealots. Doing a pretty good job of microing the Zealots, but having a tough time getting the same probe under attack to get some kills over here. And man, unfortunately, not getting all that much done with that Reaper harass. And it looks like we may have another Reaper coming into the field. There's a second Reaper right there, but he might be backing off at this point as now there's a Stalker on the field. So unfortunately for Assem, that was not an ultra successful rush of a Reaper by any means, but he's not behind at all really, because if we go to the income tab, you'll see that he's actually even with White Ra thanks to the Mule as he gets up his economy continually. White Ra though in a pretty good position here, 27 food count versus 18, and it looks like he may be going out for an early counter. Oh, I don't know if he went there. Oh, he's actually chasing after the Reapers, looking for him, realizing that they were hiding up on the high ground. But for a second, it looked like he might have been going after the Reaper on the destructible rocks, but he couldn't get through because of the destructible rocks. But it doesn't matter at this point, as he has taken out one of the Reapers. The other one is heading back to his base, but man, that Stalker's fast, able to do a lot of damage, getting it to less than half health already. And we'll have to see what White Ra decides to go next. And at this point, he's going 3-gate, and I think this is a good basically strategy coming from White Ra at this point, because he knows, you know, there was some significant investment in this attack and this rush by Assem, and now, oh no, Assem is under attack already as 4 units of White Ra are pushing in to pressure him a little bit more. He doesn't have a wall. Looks like he's going to have a bunker up in time. Going to get a Reaper and a Marauder in there, and it looks like he's going to be able to repair this, no problem. Going to try to put up a wall as well, and at the meantime, I don't know if White Ra is actually going to try to push in. He's not going to be able to take down this bunker with that type of unit composition in the bunker, but he may be able to do, well, he won't be able to take down the barracks either. He'll do some damage picking away at it. But what's important to note is it looks like he's going for another Thor here, as he's got a tech lab on that factory and an armory. And wow, so that's interesting. But White Ra, in the meantime, he's getting up an expansion of his own rather than going for the continued tech route. He wants to make sure he stays safe, play the advantage that he's been handed, as the Reaper harass was just not successful by him. And basically, he's going to just be able to pump out a ton of units once this Nexus is up and running. But in the meantime, it looks like a Thor is in production from Assem, and I love seeing Thors played in any game or any matchup for that matter. Always an exciting unit to see, as it basically 2 shots like anything. A little bit of lag going on here. That may be because we are watching a cross-Atlantic game. Hopefully I'm not the one causing that lag, but I can only assume it's got something to do with the fact that we got someone from the US playing someone from the Ukraine. Not the closest of locations to play, but hopefully it won't be too bad. Anyway, it looks like at this point we are going to see the first Thor popping out of the factory, and it looks like he's going to just continue making some Marines at this point, loading up that bunker. Where's the starport? There it is. So we are going to see another drop, and this is a good map to drop on because the airspace is not very far from one base to the next. You can see that the Thor, once it's in the medevac, it's going to be able to sneak around the behind and do a lot of damage to the probe line. But it looks like White Ra sees this coming, and once again, going for the Void Rays. Wow, so that's pretty impressive right there. I don't know if he just smelled this one, or he had some way of just gleaning that information from the build that we saw. Maybe it was a lack of the reinforcements over here that he realized, well, he doesn't have more barracks. Probably going to factory. If he's going to factory, I'm getting a Void Ray. Because clearly the Void Ray is going to be a pretty good counter to anything that it could come out of either the factory or the starport, with the exception of a Viking, you know. And it doesn't look like a Viking's going to be what we see. We are going to see a medevac with the Thor doing a drop in the back, and it looks like, oh, he's going to see exactly what's going on in White Ra's defenses. But that Thor going to be able to come down and do some damage, but not before taking quite a bit of damage itself. Here we see the dropship micro coming from Assem. Let's see if he can take out a couple of these probes. Oh no, there's the Void Ray, plus the Zealots. This is going to be really difficult for Assem to try to get away with at this point. And wow, that Void Ray going to be able to chase off that medevac real quick. But on the plus side, he's got obviously a faster movement speed than the Void Ray, so he gets away without incurring too much damage at this point and making a second starport. So really, we're seeing the conclusion of the build that we didn't see from Assem before. He's got that command center up and running, but you know what? I think he's going to have a tough time defending until he gets this, well, apparently 3-port build all completed. Again, I think he's going to end up going Banshees. I would love to see a Viking out on the field, though, as it would help immensely against the Void Rays. Now there are 2 Void Rays out on, excuse me, out on the field for White Ra, and he's going to try to do some harassment. I don't know if he knows that there's an expansion over here or not, but he's going to play it as if there is and try to take it out, apparently, as he comes around the front end, not expecting to run across any troops over here, of course, and he's going to see there's nothing here quite yet, but he is going to see the command center floating over very shortly. A little bit of lag here still. That's unfortunate, but again, not much we can do. Let's check out the income. Wow, White Ra, not all that ahead as you would think, thanks to Mules, of course, for the Terran player. And he's got 2 Thors out. Man, is he making more? I'm curious if he's going to make another medevac ship. And now he's going to be able to defend these Void Rays without too much of a problem, but he's got to be careful as the first one goes down. Oh, no. Clumsy Thor getting stuck on the buildings and the SCVs, and he's going to be in trouble. Picks it up, though, with the medevac. Man, this lag is killing us. But I think this Thor is not going to last very long, just because these are fully charged Void Rays doing full damage. And, yeah, not a good place for the Thor to be. Of course, Banshee going down as well. Where are the Vikings? Please tell me there's a Viking making. There is not. Oh, no, there is. Sweet. He is making one. But he's going to lose another Thor. Oh, just barely saves it. But White Ra, man, those Void Rays. Oh, no, they take out the medevac, and a third Void Ray is on the way at this point. That is scary. Scary. Good of White Rod to use those Void Rays so effectively. I don't know if he sniffed out the build or what, but he is in good position, making a Warp Prism now, and he's attacking in the front with units once again, reminiscent of Game 1, Stalker, Sentry, Zealots, Oh My, Void Rays. The name of the game at this point, though, is they are just destroying things. 3 kills on that. We got an Instructor, a Disciple, and I don't know what else. Nicely done as GG comes from Assem, and we're going to go on to the next game.